Happy Monday, everyone. I guess it's a happy Tuesday for all of you because you'll be watching this on Tuesday. Today is Monday the 8th or the 9th. I don't know what today is actually. But I'm about to head in and go and do my workout. But I'm excited for today's video because today we're going to be talking about reverse dieting and why your metabolism is so slow. So if you want to watch that, keep going.
Alright, so I'm going to jump right into why you have a fast metabolism or you have a slow metabolism. So what exactly is your metabolism? Your metabolism is how fast your body burns food to do regular things. So breathing, keeping your body working and functioning properly, digesting your food, just like all of the regular everyday stuff that you do without extra exercise. So your metabolism is just how much food you burn, how many calories you burn to do those everyday things. So for all you visual learners, I created a little graph to explain your fast metabolism versus your slow metabolism. And then a little later, I'll go on to explain how you get your metabolism from a slow metabolism up to working faster. So here's my little graph that I hope you can see. This is a struggle. So over here we have our fast metabolism. Over here we have our slow metabolism. Up here's 2,000 calories and down here is 1,000 calories. So where's my pen? I have a pen somewhere. So the best way to explain this, your fast metabolism is here. Your body is burning, we're just gonna say 2,000 calories to do its regular everyday activities, okay? So you're here. Your slow metabolism, let's say, burns 1,200 calories to do the same thing that you're doing over here. Your body is doing the same exact thing with no exercise, regular bodily functions, and your slow metabolism burns 12,000 to do that. Your fast metabolism burns 2,000 to do that. But the good news is that there's a way to get you from here to here. All right, so reverse dieting is, by definition, a slow increase of calories over a long period of time in order to repair metabolic damage. So kind of the reason that we want to fix our slow metabolism clearly is you're able to eat more food without gaining weight, doing regular everyday activities. So not having to like insanely increase your exercise level and amount or whatever. So the goal is to get from that 12,000 to that 2,000. And I have a lot of experience with this, and this is something that I wish that someone would have told me while I was in high school, while I was having weight issues. I mean, at one point during, it was my either my sophomore or my junior year, I weighed 160 pounds. So that 160 pounds was, a lot of it was made up of muscle. Muscle weighs more than fat, so I never really looked at the scale, but I was pretty big, and I was totally stunned. I was totally confused because I was exercising before school every day for an hour, hard high intensity interval training workouts, running. I tried cardio, and then after school I had 3-hour intense volleyball practices, and I was either just staying the same or I was gaining weight, and I couldn't figure out why. I mean, I was doing what I thought was, you know, eating low calorie and trying to eat healthy, and I just couldn't figure out why I wasn't losing weight. And the fact of the matter was that I had destroyed my metabolism between 8th grade and my halfway through my junior year. I had just demolished it. I had no metabolism at all. Honestly, my metabolic rate was probably 1,000 calories for doing those regular activities, whereas now on average I'm burning closer to 1,800 calories without exercise. My metabolism is better than it's ever been. That's actually thanks to my pregnancy. I pretty much reverse dieted throughout my pregnancy without really knowing that I was. And I fixed my metabolism during that time while I was pregnant and for the few months after that. which is why I am where I am now. But it was a long road. It was an entire year or year and a half to fix that metabolism that I had just demolished for years. And I know a lot of people are just confused. They're working out constantly, they're eating low calorie, and they're gaining weight, or they're not seeing any results. And that's so frustrating, and I know that because I was there. So reverse dieting is, let's say that your body is burning we'll say 1,200 calories to do the regular stuff. The idea is that you add, I like using it more in macros because obviously there are calories is just kind of vague. There's 9 calories per 1 gram of fat, and 4 calories per 1 gram of carbs, and 4 calories per 1 gram of protein. So we'll do it in the idea of macros instead of calories. So we'll start at about 12,000, and then you're going to increase every week, every 6 to 7 days. You're going to increase your carbs and not your protein. You're going to increase your carbs by 5 to 10 grams for that week, for that 6 or 7 days. And you're going to increase your fats by 2 or 3. Is it still recording? My phone's freaking out. You're going to increase your fats by 2 or 3 grams. And that's roughly about the same calories for both. And you're going to do that every 6 or 7 days. And it is very slow, and you have to hit your numbers, and it's very tedious, and it requires a lot of tracking. And I know a lot of people don't like to do that, but unfortunately, increasing those numbers slowly over a long period of time is the only way that you can fix your wrecked metabolism. While I was in high school, I was practically starving myself at times because I didn't know a whole lot then. I just thought, the less you eat, the more you lose weight, which technically is true, but the problem with that, and I talk about it a lot because it's so important and so many people don't know about it, is your body goes into starvation mode. So all of a sudden it thinks that it's dying, and it takes all the food that you're eating, and it takes all of those carbs and all of those fats, and it turns it and stores it as fat. All right, so how do you put this into motion, and how do you actually do it? So this is hard. You have to kind of think about, I understand that everyone at home doesn't really have the tools to really figure out what their metabolic rate is. If you Google Katie Hearn Fit macro calculator, hers is my favorite, and you go in and you type in all your information, you type in your weight and your age and your height and the amount that you exercise and blah blah blah. And you fill out all the info. At the very bottom it says, it gives you your macros, but up above that, if you click on calculate TD, TDEE, it's total daily energy expenditure or something like that. That number, and then underneath it it'll say BMR, which is your basic metabolic rate. That is roughly, that's going to be your most accurate guess as to what your body is burning on the regular. So if you're interested in doing this and you think that you have a wrecked metabolism, I'd love to help you. You can absolutely come to me, ask me any questions you want. I can put a program together for you if you'd like. I do that on my nikelfit.com website, and I do customized meal and exercise plans, but that's for another time. But I am there if you need help. But you can go on and you can find out your macros and your basic metabolic rate, and you can slowly, from those numbers that you get in every week, every 6 or 7 days, increase your carbs by 5 or 10 and increase your fat by 2 or 3 grams. And over the period of 2 or 3 months, you can fix your metabolism. So the idea behind increasing it slowly, you increase it a little bit, and then your body gets used to it, and then, okay, you're here, your body's used to it, and then you increase it a little, and it goes, oh, what are you doing? And then over the next couple days, it says, oh, okay, I can do this, and I can sustain this, and then you increase a little more, and you keep going, and your body slowly but surely will get used to eating more calories, and you might gain a couple pounds. And if you're gaining a lot of weight quickly, you're gaining over 1.5 pounds a week, then increase those macros every week and a half. So you might have to play with it, but the idea is that you increase it a little bit, your body gets used to it, and performs its daily functions with that amount of food that you're giving it. And as soon as it gets used to it, you increase it a little more, and you keep doing that until you fix your metabolism. So that's what I did. That's what everyone, unless you just you don't care about your body after you compete, that's what physique fitness bikini competitors do after their competitions, when they're fixing their metabolism, because eventually you do. It's called peak week, the week before your competition. During peak week, you really are at your lowest macro intake, and so after that, yeah, your metabolism is strained. That's gonna happen. The game is to see how much weight you can lose without ruining your metabolism too much. So even like after I'm done with my bikini prep, I'm gonna have to reverse diet to get back to where I am now. So it's gonna be a long process. It's a long road, but if you're serious about either losing weight, and I'll talk about losing weight after you reverse diet in a second, but if you're serious about losing weight or fixing your metabolism, or just wanting to maintain while eating more food, then reverse dieting is for you. So the last segment, before I go into how my week has gone, and I'll show you I'll show you my pictures this week and my measurements, my weight. Before I go into that and talk to you about this week, I do just want to say that if you are planning on losing a lot of weight, or you really have hit a place where you're eating so little and you can't lose anymore, you have to go ahead and reverse diet. And I know that it's scary. A lot of people don't want to do it because they're afraid of gaining weight. Take it slow, but slowly increase. I'm going to use my piece of paper for this. We'll say that we're here with our slow metabolism, right, at 1,200 calories. And you're losing weight, but you have plateaued, okay? What we're gonna slowly do is we're gonna increase. Is this gonna work? Increase. Yeah, it's working. Increase, increase, increase. So you get up here to this point, right? You probably gained a couple pounds, and that's gonna happen no matter what. The slower you take it, the less weight that you're going to gain, and the better your body is going to react to this reverse dieting. But you get here, and let's say that down here we weigh 130 pounds. Up here we weigh 135 pounds, but now we burn a lot more calories and a lot more energy doing regular everyday stuff. You can start to diet again, and you don't have to eat these really low calories. You don't have to eat 1,000 calories a day to lose weight anymore. Up here you can eat 1,600-ish, we'll say just 1,600 is a good number. Down here, if you wouldn't have reverse dieted, you would have had to have eaten 1,000 calories to go down. Right here, if you want to go down, you're all the way up here, you can eat 1,600 to lose weight, because your body is just used to more food. You're able to lose weight while eating more food, and that is the point of reverse dieting. So I suggest that if you have plateaued and you can't eat any less, without going anorexic, or that your metabolism is wrecked and it's been wrecked for a long time, or you're coming back from a big diet, then reverse dieting is for you. This is the most overlooked thing. This is why people gain so much weight. I'm gonna pick this up. This is why so many people gain weight after they go on any diet. I mean, Jenny Craig or Atkins, or I guess maybe not Atkins so much because that's a high protein. I guess Atkins, yeah, because you're eating low carb. Any diet that you do and you lose a lot of weight, if you don't get your body back up to like a high level where it can burn that food efficiently, you're gonna gain the weight back, and your body's not gonna be used to your regular regular food intake when you go back and stop dieting. So this is something that you should really look into, and ask questions if you want, do your research, but that's a little bit about reverse dieting. I hope that you learned something from that. And then over here, I'm gonna go ahead and go through this week and what my week was like, and what my pictures and my weight and my measurements are like. All right, so how did this week go? This was my first week for my bikini prep. I am bulking. I'm not like trying to gain fat or anything, but I'm trying to put on as much muscle mass as possible. And I was and still am I'm carb cycling, and I'm tracking my macros. Unfortunately, I am used to my body I'm not used to my metabolism being this high, like I just explained. And so I was eating too few carbs. I wasn't eating enough, which in the past has worked just fine for me, but my body apparently is at a different place, and so I need to eat more after it was after the 4th day. So after my 2 low carb days, my high carb day, and then my low carb day again. My high carb day just didn't replenish my glycogen stores. I felt like crap. I was exhausted. I wanted to sleep. By that 4th day, I took like a 2-hour nap. I was exhausted. I didn't want to get up and do anything after I had worked out. I was so moody. I could have ripped the head off of anything. I didn't feel like myself. I didn't feel good, and that's when I realized, okay, I've got to change something. So since then, my macro numbers have changed. The only thing that's actually changed is my carb intake. So previously, like, my low carb days were 120. My low carb days are now 145. My medium carb days are 175, and my high carb days are 205 or 210. I can't remember. It's either 205 or 210, but normally I would have looked at those numbers and been like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna be fat. Like, that is so many carbs, and it is a lot of carbs, but that is what my body's used to. That's what my body currently needs, especially if I am trying to build muscle. And I'm not trying to lose weight right now. That's not the goal, even though that is what happened according to my measurements. Yeah, I did lose a little bit of weight, which is not what I wanted. I was hoping my weight would fluctuate and go up by half a pound this week, and it actually went down half a pound. I did gain more muscle mass this week, but I am also gaining fat or losing fat, and I don't want to lose fat yet. I'm working on building muscle, and I didn't even do any cardio this week, and so I'm just I'm not getting the results that I want right now, so I have to eat more carbs, and I've never had that problem in my entire life. Earlier I was talking about what my metabolism was like in high school. My senior year, I competed in a Miss Teen Colorado pageant, and for that I lost 20 or 25 pounds, but I was eating like nothing, and so my body was used to that. It wasn't quite in starvation mode, but I was eating very few calories, which is what my body was getting used to. And so if I would have kept losing weight, my body eventually would have gone into that starvation mode. It was just used to low calories, and I hadn't reverse dieted at all. And so after I had ruined my metabolism throughout high school, I went and dieted, and didn't reverse diet. I just kept dieting, and I kept reducing my calorie, carb, fat intake, and it was not good. I was very tired and irritable and grouchy. I lost the weight, but it was really hard, and so I don't want to have to do that again. All right, so enough about the dieting. I was actually able to get my butt in gear at 6 a.m. every morning this last week, except Thursday. Thursday was my rest day. I took Thursday off. We had a whole bunch of stuff going on with our puppy, who was, long story short, we thought it was behavioral. We took him to the pound on Thursday, and then it was just awful. All of Thursday sucked, and Friday sucked, and then Saturday, my husband ended up calling the pound, and the pound told us that they did a bunch of examinations, both medical and behavioral, and they found out that his problems were medical and not behavioral, and so then we had to go back down on Saturday and go and repick him back up. So that's what I was going through. What a fun week. Last week sucked. But Thursday I took off. So I was still able to get in the gym every day except Thursday. I had kick butt workouts. I had tons of energy. I was excited to get up in the morning. I don't expect that to continue for the next 19 weeks. But for the first week, it was pretty good. So go ahead and keep watching, and I will show you my pictures from today. Here I am in all of my makeupless glory. Here are my measurements this week. They actually haven't changed at all, despite the fact that I can tell a difference in the way that my clothes fit and how I'm looking in my pictures. But thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone got something out of this video, and I appreciate everyone's support and continuing to follow me.